Hey family, what is up? Welcome everyone. I realized after sending out the email that this was probably not going to be the best day to test out how many people will be on a Saturday evening one, because we are about to celebrate what?
Hanukkah?
No, silly gooses. We're about to celebrate Memorial Day here in the United States. And I know we have a lot of members in the United States. So I realized maybe not everyone's going to make it out tonight. So this won't be a good night to test out a Saturday night, but that's okay because we do have some of our members here already, as well as some of our fans. And hopefully some more people will trickle in as we get started. I know there's a bunch of people watching that haven't said hello yet. So if you haven't already, please let us know who you are in the chat. Don't be shy. Don't be scared. We don't bite unless we have to. Okay?
And for those who was in service,
He bites nipples. Nipples. He bites nipples.
That was only because he had to. That
I
was
was there.
flashing.
no, I didn't have to. I wanted to.
Oh,
I had other options.
Oh.
That was the easiest, the best, and most satisfying.
I got no words. All right, family. Well,
Okay.
And
welcome.
thank you for your service for all those who protect our freedoms.
Thank you so much. And also, we extended our sale that we're having on the training hall for Memorial Day. So if you haven't already signed up, feel free to go to entershaolin.com/countdown. It's no coupons are needed. You'll save 50 to 60% off or more, depending on which one you pick and stuff like that. So that is up for you guys and gals. That will be through the 31st. So, and then that will be closed down, except for those that have access to it. So if you go on the 1st of June, guess what's going to happen? There's going to be a big closed sign and a little spot that you can, sign up for a waiting list, which I wouldn't recommend waiting for because we're only going to be doing it a couple times a year. And it's going to be a lot more than what you see on that sale page. So go check it out if you haven't already and go get yourself signed up. Welcome, family to Enter Shaolin and Enter Tai Chi. For those of you that are new, feel free to check out our ebook and our free intro course. That's also going away after the first. So if you haven't got access to that yet, make sure you do. Also, a disclaimer, if you're already a member, please do not sign up for it again, because it will kick you out of your current membership. You already have access to it in the No Deck Not intro section on the website. So make sure, again, remember, don't re-sign up. For those of you that do sign up to it, you will continue to have access to it. So don't sweat it. You will get it. So go to entershaolin.com/gift and check out our No Deck Not ebook, find out about the fundamental principles and all that good stuff. Also, we'll tell the members something really good about the intro membership and what that has to do with you guys and gals when we get on the members only webinar after this one. I'm your host, TJ Jamie. This is Sifu Fu. The other guy that was here a second ago, that was Sifu Larry. And let's see who we have on tonight. All right, we're gonna obviously talk about Kung Fu, martial arts, health, wellness, and fitness, anything within reason. So if you have some questions, you want to know a little bit more about, I don't know, something, let us know, okay? We're here for you. So we have David on, which good to see you on, brother.
Yo, bro.
So happy that you could
I
join us.
missed you. I was so
We missed you.
excited, dude, that we're gonna do some rolling around and pushing, and then I found out you weren't gonna make it.
Yeah, that really sucks. I'm sorry it
Yeah.
happened. And again, if we had the extra cash, like I would have just gave it to you because that sucked. That sucked. We also have Errol coming in from London, UK. Good to see you on. Shalom has the first question of the hour, day, whatever you want to call it. We'll get to you in a moment, Shalom. We also have Baki on. Baki says, just what I needed. Yes. We have Caesar on. Good to see you on, brother. And we have A on. Okay, I'm not sure who A is, but we're gonna get to know A a little bit more today. We also have You Can Call Me Taurus on. Hello, good to see you on. All right, so the first question is from Shalom. Shalom says, hi guys, Sifu, what do you think about isometric exercise?
Any form of exercise is good for you. Isometric exercise is very good for you, especially if you don't have weight around. So they all have benefits. Any type of exercise will have benefits. Isometric exercise is really good. I do a lot of isometric exercises for a couple of reasons. One, I can do it anywhere. I don't have to have weights. I don't have to go to the gym. I can do it anywhere.
You can even do some while you're driving the car.
So that's one, convenience of just being able to exercise whenever you want. Two, isometric exercises are really good because they also more or less develop symmetrical the same. Like if you're doing push-ups, you're doing left and right the same, as long as you do the hands apart, the same. Like you can change it and develop different ways. But normally when you're doing type of isometric exercises, they really kind of balance out the development of your body. The third thing is it really, especially if you can do it slow and with proper technique, it really works the muscles to tighten up and dense up, put a lot of blood flow in there. So you don't bulk up, but you'll dense up. So isometric exercises don't have the ability to bulk you up like weights can, but it really has the ability to
Tone you up.
Dense your body. Like
Yeah.
you can be hard as rock based on that isometric exercises. So those are the benefits of having isometric exercises. And I'm not against weights, don't get me wrong. I am for weights too. It's just like I said, you asked about isometric exercise, I'm mentioning that and benefits of having isometric exercises. And I do a lot of my exercises based on isometric exercise. I do a lot of like tensing of the body, push-ups, sit-ups, kicks, punches, all of those. I don't lift weights because I don't have it accessible to my house. Like I don't just have a gym in my backyard. So that's the only reason why. But if I did a gym, I'd go lift weights. I do squats. Squats are really good. They're all kinds. There's a lot of exercises. Weights are very good. Kettlebells are really good. Good form of training. Actually, it's probably one of the best form of training with weights. Band training, really good exercise for that. So there's a lot of exercises that are very, very good for you. It just depends on how you're doing it. That's really comes down to it. Are you doing the movement right? That's really the key.
Yeah, I was about to say it's kind of like what we talk about with styles. Don't let style define you, let energy refine you. There's no one style that's more amazing than the other. It's really about the energy and the physics behind it. And that's the same with exercise. I wish I knew the name of the study. I'll see if I can find it later, but I was just reading about it a little bit ago. There was a study that was done about depression, and that's like a huge thing around the world. all over the place. No matter what profession we're talking about, though I did find out entrepreneurs tend to have a way higher level of depression and suicide rate than other people. But they did a study on physical activity, and I wasn't surprised, but I think they were surprised to find out that it was more effective than pharmaceuticals for helping treat depression. Of course, it has to be regular. And I tell people all the time, start with something that you love. It doesn't matter what form of activity it is, it's going to help you and it's going to help you get better, especially if you're doing it right and you're doing it on a regular basis. I like doing a combination of different type of exercises because I do believe as a martial artist, it's good to be well-rounded. So like Sifu was just talking about, it's good to do, weightlifting. It's good to do the isometric calisthenic type of workouts. It's good to do jump roping. There's all kinds of exercises, dancing. I could go on and on. Pick stuff that you love and just do it on a regular basis. It will pay off in dividends. Sifu, Larry, do you want to add anything to that?
I'm gonna do filming.
Oh, you're gonna do filming? Okay, awesome. Hopefully that helps you, Shalom. So yeah, A+ on the isometrics. Just make sure that you're doing it right. Let's see. Let me scroll down here. Caesar said, "Hi family, I'm happy to be on here one more time for Tijuana, Baja California. My question today is, how can I apply elbow strikes?"
Okay. How or when? There's a difference. How is technique. When is opportunity. Elbow strikes are very powerful. You really want to do two things when you do elbow strikes, which a lot of people really don't. The key is making sure your wrist is getting that power with the waist. The elbow is just the means of getting the energy out, but the energy comes from the hips, the focus, a driving force will come from the wrist, and the output comes from anywhere along the form to the elbow. Okay, so if we do a breakdown, I'm just gonna grab this.
Oh, here we go.
Unless you wanted to use that.
Whatever you want to do,
doesn't
it's
matter.
fine to me.
Well, you're gonna feel it more in this.
Okay.
Okay.
Good job.
Okay. So an elbow,
You're gonna get paid for the hurt
an
part,
elbow should really come from the hip where you turn it. And that's gonna bring the shoulder with the so your core is strong. If you're doing it more like this, then it's gonna take away power. I'm not saying it's not gonna hurt. It depends on who you are, how hard you hit. But let's say it's gonna take you more energy to get the same result than connected with your hips and your waist. I could probably use like half or less than that to get the same power from somebody throwing their body. Okay. You want to bring the elbow away from the body, not up in the shoulder. So one of the things that people do is they bring it up and they do this. You don't want to do that because that's actually going to put the energy back to you. And then you have to go against that negative energy. You actually want to bring it away from you. So it's like kind of like if you spin in a circle like this, your arm's going to swing out, you see your elbow swing out. That's how you want to feel like you're doing that. That elbow has to go away from you. And it's going to want to fly that way, right? So how do I get it here? That's where the wrist comes in. So if I just did this, it would pull me away. I want to send that force in, so that energy will go like this. I'm going to take the wrist and direct it. So the best way I could tell you is when you're hitting someone, you want to imagine hitting them with your hand, but you're missing your hand. So I'm going to hit my hand, right? And my elbow is going that way. So I'm going to turn the hand away so the elbow can come in. Now, when I turn my hand away, I'm doing this. I'm going to turn the hand away, but I'm going to move it away from target, but I'm turning it toward the elbow. So I get the power coming from this side and this side, not just this side, where I'm doing like this, where it's not coming back from the hand to here. I'm actually losing that energy that way. So to save that, my wrist will bring it back that way. So I'm actually doing this while I'm doing this. Together, it creates that type of power. Okay, and that works.
Okay.
And that works on a vertical hit too. Like if I'm doing an elbow this way, I'm actually going to bring this way like this, and you can see how she goes. If I wanted to do downward strike, I'm going to turn the wrist a little bit higher to get the elbow to go higher, not raise the shoulder, but I actually rotate the wrist to get higher. And you can see the differences is I'm actually smaller too. So if I'm here, like, I can make it a lot quicker. I don't have to bring it up and bring it out to where I can throw my size and weight. Again, I'm not saying that's not effective. It can be. If you're a 280-pound guy hitting a 120-pound guy, yeah, you're going to do a lot of power because you get the size. But when you're a 120-pound guy hitting a 280-pound guy, the effect is slightly different. This is like you're stabbing them. So it doesn't matter how big they are. you're not trying to take the mass, you're trying to break the point. And every hit we do, it's not about moving the mass. Hold strong if you can. If I'm doing like this and I go like this is me pushing the mass. This is me going against her size. I can do the same thing and I just do it like it's small. And you can see she'll move more from that. So I'm breaking the point. The reason why she's moving is not because I'm pushing the mass. I'm breaking the point. The body buckles. When it buckles, it moves from that. So that's the kind of hit you want. All our hits are piercing hits, not compression hits. Compression hit is like sledgehammer. Hit, and it can do damage, it can smash. You take a sledgehammer, hit a block of wood, you see a dent in it. Okay, the block wood still kind of stays, and even if you hit really, really hard, you put a deeper crit in there, but the wood still remains. You take that and you turn it into an axe and you hit it really hard. What happens? It splits, right? And so that's because you're not compressing the molecules, you're dividing the molecules. So it's the same when you're hitting one. Anytime you do a fist strike, elbow strike, forearm strike, kicking with the legs, it's all the same. We do what we call piercing techniques. It's designed to stab someone, not designed to smash someone. So when they're bigger, it still hits them. So think of like a knife or a bullet. I don't care how big the guy is. It's designed to break the point, not affect the mass. The mass, once the point is broken, the mass collapses onto that point because it's the weakest point. The nature of energy wants to go the path of least resistance. So when that point is broken, the body comes down to take the pressure off because it can't stand the pressure. It has to alleviate pressure because it can't stand. And the force alone, like a bullet or with a knife, people can get stabbed and go backwards, but when they feel that, it starts to drop. And that's what I said, when we hit, we're not trying to move them backwards. We want to drop them when they stand. So when I teach my students, your goal is to hit them and make them drop. If they step backwards, it's not good. You shouldn't be happy about that. You should be upset. Now, in reality, if you hit them, they will step backwards because they will step backwards and drop. So as long as they're dropping, that's fine. But if people step backwards from a hit like this and they don't buckle, then you're not doing your job. You're just moving them. You just push them. You're just doing this and you're just pushing them. When you do it right, you get the body to jerk back a little. And so if the body looks like it's going to collapse while they step back, that's fine. The body stepping back from the force, but it should have a collapse. If they're just stepping backwards, it never broke them. They're not going to go down. You got a 25 pound guy coming at you, and you do that. You might stop them from going forward, but you didn't stop them from attacking. They might go for the next attack. Whereas the other one, you collapse and then it allows you to come in. So I will say, the wrist into the target. So I'm doing this, and you can see I'm sending the energy toward my elbow. So if I just did that, it's going to want to go this way. But I'm going to do this way. And if I do that, it just wants to go this way. If I do together, it's combined, it hits where I want to hit. So whether I do a upward elbow strike, if I'm close, I can do elbow. And again, I'm using this type of technique into that. And same thing if I do a horizontal. A downward strike, it's the same. If I'm going from up, I'm not going to hit her here. But you can see I'm going to rotate this way as I bring this way. And that way, it comes fast. And when you do that, you don't need as much distance. You really don't. Because I tell my students all the time, your hand shouldn't have to get the energy. You should always have it. So if you're doing this, now you got to get it because you lost it. When I do this, it's always in my hands. I always have it in my hands. My hands always have that energy. So my hands should always have that. And even if I do this, I can go like that because my wrist can rotate in terms of the energy any which way I want. It can change the direction because the wrist, not because I have to pull the energy back in my shoulder. I can go. So you can say. So that's the. I'm really careful. Make sure I'm. But
That's so much fun, y'all.
But that's the idea of doing a proper elbow. You have to have that base, very strong base. And that's with everything you do. Anytime we do it, the base is very important because that is your mass. That is your force. That's driving energy. Your wrist is your focus. It's how you make that sharper movements. So it's like a thin blade. The sharper your wrist is, that's the sharper the blade is. The duller the wrist is, that's like you're more sledgehammer. If you can turn the wrist to the target points, then you're more like a tight sledgehammer. I mean, that's an axe, not a sledgehammer. So that's how you want to do a proper elbow.
All right.
That's how you do it. Any strike, really.
Okay. Woo. That was good information. I hope you all got that down. If you didn't, there's a replay later. So, and the replay is instant here on YouTube. So feel free to check that out again later. Make sure you save that one. All right. Baki says it's gonna be good. Sifu has great elbow strikes. I hope you liked it, Baki. Let me see if there's any comments on that real quick. Nope. Okay, let me go back up here because we had from A, the mysterious A. A says, hi team, what do Aikido and Tai Chi practitioners mean when they say move from the center? Secondly, how do you force someone in a headlock? Okay, we'll start with the first one. So they want to know, what do Aikido and Tai Chi practitioners mean when they say move from the center?
Okay. I can't say what they're trying to say because I don't know what they're meaning, but I can assume that they're saying what I'm trying to say if they're doing it right, because what I'm going to say is the right way. When you say center, you're talking about the core, not the center of the point, but the core. The core is key to getting your power. If the core, because I can move my center and break my core, that would be no good. So you have to have a core, which is your center mass, not your center. So hopefully that kind of takes away that misunderstanding when people talk about center. It's not center. It's your core. It's the center mass of your body. So when I move, it's the core that has to be proper. Because without this, then the limbs can't get the connection from the ground to your hands. And so it'll break. And a good example of having a strong core versus like a center turn or center movement. If I turn from my center, but my core is broken, the energy can come back to me. So it's like, I'll use Tai Chi because I don't know Aikido as well, but I'm going to use Tai Chi and use push hands as an example, showing what the center mass of the core versus the center. I can be center and turn from center like this. See, so that's my center, right? But if I turn from my center, go ahead, pushing, and I didn't keep my core. You see, I broke my core. It's no good. I could do this and do this, push me, and see how my core look. Push me. So you can see my core is connected, right? Now, does the core mean it has to be upright? No, it just has to be connected. No, I can do this. Watch. Push me. Push me. So you can see I'm moving my body this way and this way. I can even push me. I can go like this, push me. I can go like this. I can push me. I can go like this. It's the core that's the key, because without this connection, the limbs can't connect. It's like what's that? The mediator for the limbs. What you get from the energy, remember, you get your energy from the ground, okay? If you were floating in space, you couldn't go forward. It's like if you're floating in space, you got to project yourself somewhere without something to push off of, or without some type of apparatus like a flame, a jetpack in your back. You could not get any forward projection. You got it from the ground. Well, that energy comes from the ground, goes to your limbs or your arms or your body or whatever it is you're trying to use at the time of a practice or combat. So your core delivers energy from here into here. But I'm going like this, like I can't get the energy out. So if that core is broken, then you can't translate that energy from the ground to your hands well. So we might get some, but you're not getting any at all. Go down. So your core is the key, and you can call that the center mass. If they're called center, think of it as center mass, or I like to call it the core. That's the key of moving the center. Okay, their version center like this, and that's the core. So that's what you want to do, because I can pivot here and do this and still keep my core good. So you can pivot from here and move this way. You can pivot from here, move forward, as long as the core is right. So she grabbed me. Don't lean that in because it's going to hit you in the face. So I'm going to use the technique where I'm going to use like let's say I turn from here. Okay, so grab me. So see, so I can keep my core and I can turn from here. It's not the center of your body. It's the center as the center mass. So see, I can use that as my reason. Usually my elbow go right to her face. So I can pivot from here if I want to, and the core is right. It's not pivoting from the center and the center alone. You did that, someone offset you, how you're going to adapt. It's not about that. Here's my adaptability from this width. If you only at the center, they knock you off, how you're going to recover? You can't. This is my ability to adjust. So if they knock my body off this way, that's okay, because my core, my center mass is fine. I do this. That's why I did the push. I can do this because my center mass is still connected. So hopefully that answers that part of the question. What was the other part?
All right, second part, which was, how do you force someone in a headlock, especially if their neck is too strong to bend over?
Okay. You can always take anybody in a headlock if you know how to do it right. You can't do it if they're upright and they're pushing you away. But if someone stood upright and let me take their head, I'll take them down anytime. Okay. Here's the key. You want to control the neck, not force the head. And what I mean by that is if she's ready. So I'm not going to try unless she resists me. I don't want to pull her down. That's me trying to take the body and her mass. When you do a headlock, now, I'm not going to reveal how we do a headlock. Our headlocks are very, very different from most people. But I'll just say this. I don't try to headlock her and pull her head down. What I do is I control that neck. I take her, I break her neck control, and then she'll go. So there's a method in which we do that. I'm not going to teach that method. I'm just going to show you the principle of doing it. So you
No
go
worries. We can talk more about this later if you want on Zoom.
yeah. But our goal is not to try and bring the head down. It's to turn the neck. Remember that rule where the head goes, the body follows, right?
So this means it doesn't matter how big their neck is, how strong it is.
Yeah, obviously you
that's
can
how
take a
you
headlock if they're trying to push your arms away and you can't get the engagement of your arm around your head. But if I can get this in there, I don't care. If I can get my arm towards the back of her neck and get my arm to hook on the inside here or on her outside, I'm saying inside my center. I can take her down. And again, resist me all you want, okay? Look at this. I do this, she can hold. Once I control the neck, once I go again, I take her neck.
Yep, no.
She'll go. Because I'm not taking her down. And here's a simple rule. When we do locks, this is what I tell my students all the time. If I'm doing a lock where I'm taking them down, don't take them down into a lock them out, and they'll want to go down. When I lock her neck, I'm not bringing her down. I lock her neck out, and then she wants to go down.
Yeah, because otherwise it hurts a lot more.
So any type of blocking that you do, you have to change your mental state of trying to get the objective. You got to get the
I feel like there needs to be a mini course, the philosophy of getting blocked.
Your goal is always get the point, never the motion. So I'm not trying to bring her head down. I'm trying to lock her neck out. She wants to go down. I didn't make her go down. That's the way she alleviates the pressure and the pain. Same thing when I lock someone's wrist. I don't go like this and I try to take them down because during the time they fall, I never controlled them. I'm trying to make them go somewhere. When I lock them here, she wants to alleviate the pressure because of the lock. I didn't bring her down into a lock. I locked her out and she wants to go down. So when you do a headlock, that's the same. It's a locking technique. So I don't want to bring her head down. I want to lock her neck out or her head out or whatever you want to call it, headlock. I want to lock her neck out. When I lock her neck out, she wants to go down. Not because I force her down. Her body alleviates the pressure that way. There's no way she can stay up. And I've done it with guys who are like 280 pounds. I'm like, all right, resist all you want. I get them in the headlock and I say, I won't hit you. I said, apart from hitting me, because obviously somebody hit me in the groin, I want to let go. But once I put a headlock, they don't get out because I'm not trying to get them anywhere. I'm trying to put them in something. I'm not trying to get them anywhere. I want to put them in something. So that you have to change your mental state is when you're locking someone, you're not trying to bring the head down. You're trying to lock the neck out, and then they'll go down because of that as a result.
Right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, I'm not sure if you're a member since I only have your A, but if you are a member of Inner Shaolin, feel free to jump over on our Zoom members only webinar after this, and we can go into detail and show you how to actually do the headlock and all the good stuff. If you're not a member yet, go to innershaolin.com/countdown and join. If you join tonight, email me at support@innershaolin.com and I'll make sure that you get on that webinar so that way you don't have to wait till next week. All right. David's laughing. Let's see. We don't know who he is. We call him Shalom. It just works. Jimmy, I don't know. So it's a mystery Scooby-Doo. Let me know if you figure it out. Let's see. M says hi from Mexico City. Well, hello. Good to see you on.
Mexico City MC. This is M Castanetti. MC. Mexico City.
Yes, there you go. There you go. Your name has the initials of the place that you were at. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Beat says, what do you think about Sanchin? Sanchin.
I don't think about it because I don't know it. I don't know what it is.
I was gonna say I am not familiar, so I'm gonna look it up real quick and see what it is. Sanchin. Well, okay.
It's block of 5K.
I don't know, because I'm not sure what
I
it's.
don't know if is it like when you're trying to block a front kick and you bring the knees in?
I think Sanchin martial arts.
Yeah, because I would say so far I'm
Ten.
finding
Martial
I'm
arts.
finding doctors right now with the name Sanchin. So I'm like, I don't think this is right.
It's stance.
It's martial arts, not martial.
It's a position.
Sanchin.
So what they said?
I just know.
Oh, it's okay. So Tom Han taught a style that was called simply Samjin or Sanchin in Cantonese. The name Sanchin meaning 3 battles, conflicts, wars. All right, so we're not familiar with that, but I see someone else says Sanchin is the essence of karate. Develops the correct breathing and allows you to develop iron protection from blows. So we have to look into this a little bit more. So David, we're gonna put that on hold. We'll do a little research on that.
Oh,
and let you know.
it's a form of karate.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
So I don't know enough to-
Breathing and iron shirt principles, basically.
So anybody can always suggest good principles, you know. Aikido has great principles. Wing Chun has good principles. Tai Chi has great principles. Everybody has great principles. That's the whole point of getting martial arts, become better than you were, and transcend to a higher level. The question really is how it's done, not
Right, is the
which
energy
manner,
right?
which way, if you want to go this way to get to this point or this way to get to this point, I don't really care. The question is how. And that's what really matters more than anything else. That's what we look at. That's why we say don't let style define you, let energy define you. It's not about the style, it's
Yeah.
about the energy behind what you're doing. That makes the difference.
Apparently it's one of the basic forms for Goju-Ryu. So you there, you probably did some of
It's a
this.
form of strength exercise.
Sanchin.
Okay, so like we talked about earlier, any exercise that you do is good as long as you're doing the technique properly.
Yeah.
Okay.
The physics right, the energy right.
You can carry a gallon of milk or water and do the exercise as long as you're doing it properly. Now, you're going like this all the time, you're doing negative energy forces, pulling your shoulders backwards and stuff like that, then no, it's not good. If you bring it forward and again, depending on the objective to build at the time of the exercise, you got to make sure that that's the focus which you're using. For if I'm curling my arm with curls like this, I want to make sure that I'm curling. If you're doing this, I've seen people in the gym, they lift heavy weights, but they throw their back or something like that. Then you're not really developing the muscle 100%. You're developing 80%, 20% loss in your lower back. So you very have to isolate and concentrate on the point at which you're trying to develop. So if you're like, oh, I just want to look good, I'm throwing my back and my arms curling 200 pounds. Fine, your goal is to look good in front of everybody. That's fine. I'm not going to say nothing because that's your objective. Your objective is to build the bicep, and you really want to make sure that your elbows out there. You curl, you bring your arm up and isolate that point. So it's not pulling or throwing the back, not leaning into it. Those are all points at which it takes away from that muscle. So it's all about learning how to pretty much concentrate on what it is you're trying to do properly. So it doesn't matter. As I said, any exercise. You look at bodybuilders, they look great on this. I know some more steroids. So this would do natural, they still look great. You see people do cross country, they look great. You see people do aerobics, they look great. Everybody who,
Right.
who do any exercises, no matter what the means of exercise, they look great because they dedicate the time, they concentrate on developing that part of which their objective is. So it's really about making sure you do it right. Yes. Any exercise you do that's worthwhile will have positive results if you exercise properly.
Facts.
But again,
more
what your objective is to do. You like, I want to get bigger, then lifting weights is great. I want to get stronger lifting weights, or calisthenics is good. So again, I want to be lean, yet I want to be powerful. Then do calisthenics is good. Light weights, high repetitions, like that. It all depends on your objective.
Absolutely. So let me go back up here. I by the way, fam, I did drop some links in the chat. So if you're new here, make sure you go ahead and get access to the intro ebook and 5-day intro series, because that is also being taken off the internet. So if you get access to it now, you keep access to it and you'll be golden. Okay. Members, you already have access. So disclaimer, do not re-sign up to that because it will kick you out of your membership. We can fix it. It's just a pain in the butt. And let's not do that, okay? We don't need to add to the customer service list, all right? So, and I also put the sale that we have going on. We relaunched the sale that we had for our birthday for Memorial Day. So you don't need a coupon, you don't need any of the things, and you're gonna save 50 to 60% off for the entire time that you stay a member to the training hall. So just go check it out. Countdown. Because why? The countdown's about to be done. That's why. All right. That's simple. It's that simple.
It's the final countdown.
Literally. So get on it, fam. All right, let's see. Baki says, if any style can be made internal, when doing a karate form internally in NDN principle, would you get the same healing boost of Tai Chi does, or is Tai Chi postures that heal through blood flow?
Well, if you do karate and you do it through the wrist and you do it relaxed, you're gonna get benefits out of it. Same as Tai Chi in terms of health benefits, but the only difference is Tai Chi was developed to hit certain areas of the body, which the karate form may not. But if it's moving through your wrist and breathing and you're going like this and you're doing this, you are going to get some type of benefit from doing that. But you're going to get the same benefits Tai Chi? No, because they're not moving the same.
Yeah, there's definitely different
Two
movement going
movements. So Tai Chi was designed to develop the whole entire body and a lot of movements that you do. So there's like arcing, circular motion, connected with the body. Karate may not have that. I'm not a karate expert. There might be some forms that has that. I don't know the forms, so I have no idea. But I've seen basic karate forms where you like that. But if you do this and you rotate up, you go like this, and you go like this, and you go into this, you can see I can still connect my body, and so there is a development in the body, and there is going to be benefits from that. The timing, the blood flow, all that. But again, it's like Tai Chi has like 200 exercises, and karate will have like in the movement, whereas karate may have only 20 types of points that hits in the body, and so you'll still benefit from that.
It's
But
not
you have to
gonna
develop it
much.
from
Look,
because you're not getting all
I'm
areas.
gonna wrap this conversation up and tell you what Sifu Fu told Sifu Larry when he was like at about his 10-year point as Wing Chun, and he kept telling him he needed to do Tai Chi, but he just wasn't listening, and he got to a plateau, and he was like, I don't know what to do, and Sifu Fu was like, look, here's the deal. You master Wing Chun, this is about where you're gonna be. So you master karate, this is about where you're gonna be. If you master Tai Chi, this is where you're going to be. And guess what? Then your skill level for karate also expands with that. Because again, we're talking about working through the meridian lines and getting full control over your body. So that just is going to elevate your karate. So don't think about doing it instead of Tai Chi or getting rid of your karate.
They're not thinking
Add it to that.
Do it internally.
I know that. I'm trying to give them some advice. Okay. Do the Tai Chi. Just listen.
Tai Chi is
Don't wait 10 years.
Tai Chi is gonna develop whatever you do much more because again, it really emphasizes a lot of the techniques to get your energy out the way. It needs to be through the wrist. Again, can you do it through karate? Yeah, absolutely can. But it is limited in its movement. But like I said, karate has like 20 forms of movement in it, then that's what you're gonna develop. Whereas like Tai Chi has, I didn't count, so I'm just making up numbers.
Yes, please don't.
So I'm not saying karate
crucify
has 20 movements. I had 21. Tai Chi has like 100 movements. Then there's a lot of more movements in there that you're hitting that you're not gonna do through the karate. And it's not just karate; it could be anything. Tiger form and kung fu. It doesn't matter. It's a question of are you moving the energy to develop body to work that way? And so if you're only moving within 20 movements, and there's like 200 movements that you're doing, then you're not going to develop all the others. It's like saying if I go to the gym and just stretch, my legs get stronger. To some degree, because you might push your leg in the ground, push heavy weights up. Any exercise that you do doesn't do the muscle alone. There's always a primary build, and then there's always a secondary build. So you don't ever just do one exercises. Like if I'm curling, I don't just develop my biceps. I do develop my forearms. I do develop a little bit on the traps, and I do develop a little bit on the pads, because if I'm curling up, I am going to use those muscles. It's going to hit this primarily because that's going to be the one that's going to what I'm focused on if I concentrate right. But if I'm doing this, I'm like this, then I'm not really putting all the energy here, like I talked about earlier. You're not focusing energy where you want to. So when you're doing forms, if the form, like I said, has 20 movements in there, and your body has 100 ways of moving, let's say, and there's only 20 types of movement in the karate form, then you're not going to hit it all. You will develop those points. You're just not going to develop the other 80. Whereas Tai Chi, it was developed so you can hit all 100 points. And so that's where you get a better development.
Okay. All right. So, all right, let's see what else we got going on here. You can call me Taurus says, what's your idea about the force? We talked about Star Wars.
So the force is any form of energy that's coming to you or away from you or next to you or by you. It's any force, okay? With any type of motion has a force, okay? It has momentum. So it's basically kinetic, potential energy turned into kinetic energy. That's a force. What do I think about the force? It's 100% good. It depends on how you use it. Again, it all comes down to what it is you're doing that makes it good or bad. Is a gun bad or good? It's neither. It's how you use it. I can use it to take a life for my own benefit or save someone's life because I hurt someone else. It just comes down to what's the intent and what you're using it for. So it's very important that, like I always emphasize, you have to know where your focus is and what you're doing. Force is your means of driving energy and transferring energy from one point, like my hand, into the body. Without the force, it's not going to do nothing. I got a knife. If it's lying on the table and I tell them, look, you make me mad, the knife's going to hurt you, and I don't even touch it, how's it going to hurt you, right? You need some type of force to project that into them. So it's absolutely necessary to have force. Now, force itself isn't just good enough because you have to have 3 elements for power. You have to have mass, force, and focus. Force is just 1/3. Because again, a force can miss. I could throw a lot of hard punches at her, miss her face. The force did not hit a target because the focus wasn't there. So good. So a bullet, what if someone robs you, right? And he goes, give me all your money. And they're going like this and pointing the gun to themselves. Like, would you be scared of them? You're like, what's wrong with this guy? I'm going to shoot you. Again, he can have a lot of force, but what's the focus? It's in his head. So the force won't be any good for him if he's not hitting his target. So force is very good. It's absolutely necessary to create power. It is one of the 1/3 of that key element of power. So force is 1, focus the other, and mass is the 3rd. So or whichever we want to say it. Force is absolutely necessary to do any form of combat. Without it, it won't work. Even in locking, if you don't force, it's not going to work. That's why there's no 3-year-old kid can beat up a 25-year-old guy. No matter how good his techniques are, how good, how refined, and how quickly he moves. He's never going to really hurt him barehanded. Now, he can hurt him if he shots almost at him. But combat empty-handed, he'll never develop enough force. His bones aren't strong enough, which means that his mass isn't developed well enough. So what kind of force he has is never going to be able to deliver the speed because the body, the mass isn't developed behind it to get the power to accelerate that. And then again, he can have great focus, but if he hits like a 3-ounce, little piece of wood to come at you, it's not enough to do damage to you. So force is necessary, mass is necessary, and focus is necessary. You got to have all 3 in order to make that power work. Okay, but yes, force is absolutely necessary in any form of combat. Okay. And even in dancing, any physical movement, you have that force. If I dance, I have a force that's moving. So I move through force, but it's controlled. So when I'm moving like this, I have a force, but I'm controlling that force. So it's a question, like I said, is that force under control when you're moving? If it's not, then it's like a chance. I'm gambling. I might hit some, I throw all 100%, I only hit like this, I scrape it. Like 100% went out, but only 20% went in. So you got to be able to control that.
All right. Gotta control it. Got it. Check. All right. So, hey, Melanie, glad that you made it on. Also, Bob, what? Bob Taylor? It's good to see you on, brother. I'm so happy to see you on. Bob said, Qigong along with Tai Chi has saved my life. Highly recommended. Exactly. Bob listened. Bob got the results, and he's still getting results because it's a never-ending thing. It's not like you do it a couple times and you get the rewards and you're good to go. It's something that's going to be giving you blessings and love and all the goodness for the rest of your life, as long as you keep doing it, of course. Same with any kind of exercise. Good to have you on, Bob. So happy. Bob, if you don't mind, can I share a little bit about at least what I know has happened with your journey? And I don't know if other stuff has happened since then. Feel free to share. Let me know if it's okay to share the thing in regards to you being able to finally touch the ground. So let me go up here a little bit while I'm waiting to hear back from Bob. We did that one. We did that one. John J. He says, if it's a Scooby-Doo mystery, then it has to be Larry. And then he's like, check, make more work for CJG. No, don't. I already, guys, my to-do list, I have yet to, the people that finish the to-do list, God bless y'all, okay? Because mine, by the end of the day, has somehow ended up being longer than when I started the day, because I'm always finding more things to do. So do not add to that list. Or John, me and you are gonna have a couch meeting. That's all I gotta say. All right, so moving on. John knows what I'm talking about. Some of y'all probably don't know. Come to Inner Shaolin, you'll find out what the couch moment means. All right, so Errol says, welcome Melanie, better late than never. Facts, facts, and facts. All right, let's see. Robert Case, checking in. Greetings all. Let us know if you have any questions, brother, and hope you can make it to members only one here in a little bit. So we got a couple more minutes, fam. So I'm just going through here real quick. John's laughing. Shirley Watt, thanks, Bob. So when Bob first came to us, he had a lot of different ailments going on with his back and stuff from several accidents and injuries and stuff throughout the years. And
the guy was a mess.
well, that's, I mean, yeah, he was. He was like, his body was a wreck, and rightfully so with all the stuff that he dealt with. And he wasn't even able to touch his knee. So can you imagine, like, there might be some people watching this that are like, yeah, I can imagine that's my problem. Well, I'm going to tell you a solution at the end of this. So keep watching. But so he started doing the Qigong, 10 basic exercises. This was literally all the man did. And he listened, he did them on a regular basis. And he reaped the benefit. In about 6 months, he was able to touch his knees. And then in about 8 months after that, and again, this is just from doing Qigong, okay, the 10 basic exercises and being diligent with that. And about 8 months after that, he was able to actually touch his hands flat on the ground. And
I can't even do that.
That was, well, then you better get doing on some more Qigong. But I can do that, by the way, if anyone wants to know. But yeah, so he thought that was something like he would never be able to do for the rest of his life. And that is just how powerful doing something so simple as 10 exercises and being consistent in that on a regular basis, how much of a difference it can make in your life. So I know that was a while ago, Bob. So if you have any other things you'd like to share and revelations that come from your Qigong and Tai Chi practice, please feel free to share, and I'll make sure to let everyone know out here and out loud. Ski Mines. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen you on it forever. You know what? Okay, you guys have proven me wrong. I wasn't sure how many people were gonna pop on this tonight, since it is a Memorial Day.
I'm trying to troubleshoot it.
Okay.
I don't think it's the mics. I think it's the internet. You know how Comcast went down.
Yeah.
There's like
Almost not able to have.
It's like it's not coming up on my board, but it is coming out on when I'm listening to YouTube. So I can't find it.
That's really weird. Okay. So yeah, it very well could be. So I thought I was gonna have to let you guys know that we were gonna have to cancel the webinar again. I was like not happy about that. So it was like around like 4:30, where like I'm like literally doing work, and all of a sudden the power just goes boom. Everything just went out, and I'm like looking at him. He's looking at me, and it was literally like sunny out, like perfect, beautiful day out. And I'm like looking outside, like what just happened, right? It was out for a while, and then the power went up. But then the internet was still down. So I don't know if like they were working on the internet and that made all the power go out. I'm not really sure. But we did have a notification that we were probably not going to have any internet until like past when we were supposed to start with this. Thank God it came back on about an hour before we were supposed to start. Like I was waiting to the last moment before I had to call Sifu or send you guys out an email. Like, please, Lord, do not make me have to cancel this. So yeah, I do apologize if there is some feedback in the sound. Sifu Larry did try his best to troubleshoot, but he's not hearing anything on the soundboard. So it does seem like it's a connection issue. So sorry about that, family. But yeah, Ski Mines, I'm so happy to see you. Oh my goodness, it's been too long. I'm so glad that we did this Saturday because I'm seeing some beautiful faces and names that I have not seen in a while. So we may make this regular. I'm not sure. I'm going to do collect some data and send out a survey to the family and stuff. So make sure you guys let me know, because we've been testing out. We did Wednesday night, we did Thursday night, Friday night, we did Saturday night. Usually we're on Sunday nights. But if we could get more people on Saturday nights, I'm open
Which
to
is
doing that.
weird because most people go out on Saturdays.
But we have cool people, like they're they're dedicated. They're all about, family and doing their training and stuff like that. They ain't got time to be going out and doing all that foolery stuff. But I'm actually surprised that this many people's on since it is a big holiday weekend. So thank you guys and gals for coming out. I'm really appreciated to see you all here. I wasn't sure that there was going to be more than 5 people on. So very happy to see you all. Let's see. Baki says, I see. Well explained and well put. Let's see. David, can you elaborate about the importance of the ligaments and strength and speed?
Do we have time for that?
If you can wrap it up in a couple minutes. If not, we'll do that next week.
Well, the importance of ligaments and tendons is they are your stabilizing points. They allow you to stay steady and not shake when you're delivering any type of strike or kick. So it allows you to be more accurate and controlled. So the tendons allow you to generate power without having to create momentum. Okay, so remember, you can't stimulate your muscles without resistance. Well, in other words, when I tense my body, I'm really hooking into the tendons so I can tense, but you can't contract the main muscle group without feeling resistance. So really, you don't want to rely on muscles to be your key to force. You really want your tendons and mainly your tendons. Ligaments are really used for power. They are used to attach bones together. So and tendons are designed to attach muscles to bone. So that little point there, when you tense your arm, like I can summon that tension. That's really attracting some muscles, but really the pressure is building on the tendons, and that's what allows me to be stable. That's what allows me to generate power without trying to create momentum, and that's what allows me to have stability. It's very important to develop the tendons more than the muscles, actually. Like I said, Bruce Lee said, big muscles are only good for what it took to get them there. What did you do to get big muscles? You worked out, you went in the gym, push weights. That's all really good for it. It's not good for generating power. Power comes from the tendons. It comes from that. So you really want to have very, very strong tendons. Now, obviously, the denser muscles, the more you're developing on the tendons. So they do go hand in hand, so to speak. Again, when you're stimulating tendons, majority of that contraction comes from the very end of your muscle where it turns to the bone, connects into the bone. That's your tendon right there. That's what you're developing more than anything else. When you're doing that, you're really not going to use your biceps. So like I can go like this and pull my arm inward, and I can feel all the tension here, but I don't feel it here. I don't feel that until I grab weight and I do that. So like I said, your main muscle group don't really have the ability to contract as powerful as by the tendons without external forces. So her bicep can't stimulate. Like tense your arm up and really tense.
Okay.
Can you feel that tensing, right?
Mhm.
Do you feel that tensing a lot?
Mhm.
Now bring your arm up.
Okay.
Like this, curl it.
Okay.
Now curl it, go. Do you feel that developing now?
Mhm.
Right? If I told you, try to hit that muscle to stimulate it without me pushing on it, can you do that?
You mean like just like pulse it or
No. Can you feel, look, bring your arm to your shoulders. Feel how that straining is right
Yeah.
there? You feel that?
Yeah.
If I let go, can you get that muscle to strain?
a little bit, through that
Look,
metric.
right.
But
It's
not
only
much.
here,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You can't hit the main muscle group
Yeah.
without having that resistance. You have, like I said, it's a little development. It's mainly along here, right where the muscle connects into the bones, which is your tendon. That's how you can contract that. Remember, you need your bones for your muscle to contract. Without it, you just be a pile of flesh just lying on the floor. Your body, your bones are what allows you to create the contraction in your muscles and your tendons. Without bones, you couldn't do it at all. Okay, so that's why, like, if the bone can only take so much pressure when you're lifting, even if your tendons are strong enough, if you push on it, your bones will break. Your tendons, even if they can contract, it won't be a hold. You need the bones to be able to create the pressure to contract. So the tendons is how we initiate that power. So they explode, but I can't generate that from the bicep or the tricep and get the tricep to come out really hard. It's really, like I said, we're really working on the tendons. Like I said, you do work some of the muscles, but it won't have the same effect unless you're pushing against some force. Okay, and I use this all the time. I tell her to push my arm down with all her strength, push that down, push it, use all your strength. And she can feel all her strength right now being contracted. She's weak. No, okay. So if I tell her to do it again and use the same force, contract the same, can you? You can't, because if there's no resistance, the muscles can't contract without that resistance to the maximum, let's say. So you can't tense the muscles to the maximum force without the weights behind it. So that's why we don't want to work our muscles to make it work. We use the tendons to make it work, especially when it comes to hitting. Can you use the muscles in combat? Yes, you can. If you're grabbing someone, you can use your strength against them. Even if I prefer to control them rather than force them. Again, I don't need to be bigger. If they're much bigger, that's fine. I don't care because I'm not going to try to overpower them. I'm going to try to manipulate them. So that's where I use tendons to create the influence, to create the control. And tendons and ligaments, the ligaments, like I said, they're not really used in combat. They're really used for mobility, so your joints don't kill you. So the tendon is really your key to power. Okay. Not saying it negates the muscles alone. You still have to use the muscles. Like I said, you are stimulating muscles. You're just not going to stimulate the whole of the muscle, just the very ends of the muscle to contract your muscles to get for the tendons. And so you want to develop the tendons and muscles, but mainly more the tendons than anything else. Power, at least.
And real quick, Bob said, yeah, I was definitely a mess. Thanks, Sifu. Bob Taylor also said, once I saw the benefits, I became an Avid member. And yes, guys, which by the way is our founding price for the sale. So make sure you go check that out. Like we even have like a 10-month payment plan that you could do, be 10 payments and be done with it and have access to the training for life. I did put the links back in the chat for everyone. So shaolin.com/gift if you want to get a free ebook and intro course and you're new here, go check that out. You guys have until the 31st midnight strikes to be able to access that freebie, and then it's going to be gone unless you already have access to it, of course.
It's my dog's birthday too.
Oh yeah.
31st.
Oh, nice. Awesome. And then you have 2 kids on the 31st. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I want my third one, but my ex-wife said no.
It didn't work
You didn't
out.
want to hold the baby for a few more days.
4 days. Come on.
Selfish.
And then we do have our membership is on sale until the 31st as well. We decided to relaunch it for Memorial Day. Again, thank you to all of you that serve and or have served because we really
Are serving.
We really appreciate you all. And I hope you guys just spend some time to just think about how precious life is and to really evaluate like what you want to accomplish in the next 6 months, 3 months, or even the next month of your life. You know, you are still here breathing for a reason. So don't waste one breath or one day because you never know when it's your time or someone else that you love. So make sure that you do the people that have passed and have fought for us right on Memorial Day. Don't just use it for a day to go, get drunk and do stupid stuff. Spend time with your family and your friends and really do stuff that like honors the people that lost their life so you can still be here. All right, family, we love you all. And for our members, we'll see you in a few minutes. God bless everyone, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.